I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. There's another paid request, this time from Max. Thank you so much for that. And for those who want to send in any other requests, paid requests, feel free to send them either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. It would be for pretty much anything. But this is for 2001 Maniacs, the remake of a Herschel Gordon Lewis film, which I didn't watch much of his movies back in the day. But I know he's called the Godfather of Gore, and paved the way for a lot more violent excursions into exploitation films among other type of movies. It's just I haven't really watched many of them. I've heard of them. I've seen clips, bits and pieces and clips of them. And this one, it's not a film I would ever watch again, but I realized I had seen this film once a long time ago when it came out, and I did not remember much about it. And watch it again, I'm like, okay, I can see why I didn't remember much about it, but if you're a gore hound, or you like watching movies that have a weird sense of humor, and it goes by at a quick pace, it's only an hour and 20-some minutes. It has some fun kills in it. It definitely has a un-PC sense of humor. And you do have Robert Englund, as well as Lin Shaye. Kane Hodder makes a very brief blink and you miss it cameo. There's a guy named Giuseppe Andrews. He was in Cabin Fever as the... was he the deputy? Oh, come on, you're the party man, right? Like that guy. He was also in Detroit Rock City. But Robert Englund, he's having fun. And the story... oh, another guy's Peter Stormare. He was in 8mm. He was in Armageddon. He was in Bad Boys 2. Peter Stormare has been a lot of stuff. He was in John Wick 2 at the very beginning. He appears at the beginning of this film as a guy teaching class about the Civil War. Now, what are the issues? The characters you don't give a shit about. You don't care about these college kids, not one damn bit. You have these three douches, as I call them. They are fucking around in class. Peter Stormare pretty much goes, well, you don't do some new term papers, or you don't be... you out of here. They're like, oh, shit. So, they are going to Daytona. For fun, vacation, for a break. And during the case, they get to a gas station, they see these three other people, these two girls and a guy. And then pretty much both of them end up in this town, as well as these two bikers. One is black, one is Asian. And all of them are now stuck in this town, where you have this group of Southerners, led by Robert Englund, who's got an eye patch with a Confederate flag on it. Lin Shaye, who was in, I keep Insidious films. Because I keep wanting to say the Conjuring films, but no. She's in the Insidious films. She's been in a lot of other stuff, Lin Shaye. And a few others. And it's a very redneck town of Southerners. Where, hey, we're going to have a Guts and Glory Jubilee. And they're very friendly, but of course, there's something up. And they start killing people one by one. Whether they tie someone up to a bunch of horses and then their limbs get torn off. One person they tie up and they squeeze it until his eyeballs pop up. One is fed moonshine but it's acid, so it burns through them and the mattress underneath. And then when you see the top, you see their chest open, you see organs pretty much cooking. So it does have the gore. And Robert Englund, he's having fun with the role. Again, I like Robert Englund. He's having fun being this Mayor Buckman of this town, this Southerner. It does try to go for a sense of humor. Like, you have these two guys who's like the Greek chorus. What I mean by that is they'll pop up and they start singing wherever they go. I think one of them is Scott Spiegel, the guy who co-wrote Evil Dead 2 and directed the film Intruder. I think one of them is Scott Spiegel. But not caring about the characters hurts the film for me. 'Cause I can't even tell you how to describe it. One's a guy with glasses. One is a guy who said he was from the South, and he falls in love with the blonde girl, and they're kind of the leads. The black guy and Asian girl, bikers. Which is weird because during the plot, Robert Englund and them are freaked out by these two. Like, they're so freaked out. Like, why didn't you tell me these two are un-PC stuff? But then what's weird about it, that doesn't make sense because throughout the film, there are black people among the fucking town. There's a point where they're walking by and there's a black guy there. And even people who are cooking the feast, one of them is a big, tall motherfucker who happens to be black. So why are you freaked out that there's a black guy, but there's at least two people among your group who are also black? Like, someone didn't think this through. That didn't make sense. I know, like, you care about logic in a movie like this, but I'm just like, if someone can explain it to me, feel free. And it's not like they were putting those part of their kinship down. It was just, they just happened to be there. And I'm like, well, then why was Robert Englund so horrified that this one guy's black, but then you have black folks in your own community? And really, it's one of those films you're watching just to see people like Robert Englund or Lin Shaye have fun with their roles. Lin Shaye is like the older lady with these young vixens, and you do get to see some nudity, some titties. And the dialogue, a lot of times were a bit cringe-inducing. For example, where are I going to first? Oh, Robert Englund, he says a line, one time I had full confidence in a fart. And you know what happened? I shit over myself. I went, well, that's a good story. Tell it again. Or this girl who is clearly a slut goes with Giuseppe Andrews, and she keeps talking about pussy, like, just call me Cat. Miss Pussy sounds so formal. And maybe it's trying to be like a parody of slasher films back in the day by this dialogue, but it just comes off as shitty dialogue. And that's what I mean, like, you don't care about the characters. If that doesn't bother you, okay. But who cares about characters in these type of movies? Honestly, I do. Because I guess I'm one of those weird few people that actually have liked a lot of characters in slasher films back in the day. I don't mind the characters in My Bloody Valentine. I liked a lot of the characters of Friday the 13th films. Jean D. LeMay in Jason Goes to Hell. Amy Steele. Even, Crispin Glover and his buddy in Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter. Amy Steele in Friday the 13th Part 2. The Dream Warriors in Elm Street 3. Lisa Wilcox and such. Alice in Elm Street 4. But again, I'm one of the few. But yeah, you do get some inventive kills. You do get some weird humor. Not all of it works. Like, you have this running joke of this guy always trying to chase down this sheep named Jezebel. Because he wants to fuck her. Because, Southerners, Confederates, they're inbred rednecks. They want to fuck the sheep. Well, good for, But again, you're not supposed to be taking this seriously. It's horror, but it's very comedic. Robert Englund at one time does his big speech for the town, and he's referencing Gone with the Wind. He's like, you stick with me, guys. We'll never go hungry again. And, the lead characters, they do stupid stuff. Like, there's a point where they know something crazy is going on, and they split up. Why the fuck do you split up? Just because. Like you said, it does have some fun kill scenes. It's a short film. It does have some lively performances. I don't think it's like a badly shot movie. It's not like a Sean Shidio looking flick. The finale, to give spoilers on the finale, what happens is pretty much they all get killed except the one guy who used to be from the South and I don't remember if she was blonde. I said she was blonde. I can't remember now. The other girl. The others have been killed. Cooked up for this feast. They try to get the one guy, because I guess he used to be from the South, so they think they'll convert him. He doesn't. He throws something that supposedly kills one of the townsfolk. Well, I'll get to why that's confusing in a minute. And then Robert Englund wants him in a fight. Then the guy threatens Robert Englund to cut his other eyeball out. And then Robert Englund's like, okay, word of honor, we'll let you guys go. And so the two go on a motorcycle. They get to a cop. Cop brings them back. And it's just a cemetery. So you come to find out that all the people you saw in the town, Robert Englund, Lynn Shay, they are ghosts. Because all that's really there is the cemetery, not a town. And these people died during the Civil War. And they wanted revenge for the Yankees who killed them. So they want, an eye for an eye. So then the two don't know what to do. They get on a motorcycle. They drive off. And as they're driving, there's a razor barbed wire. Cuts their heads off. One of the townsfolk grabs the heads. Damn Yankees. Walks off, disappears. The movie's over. And I'm sitting there going, well, I don't really care about the characters, so I can't really care about, oh no, I'm like, I don't care about them, so fine, kill them. That's what happens when I don't give a shit. Fine, they're dead. Whoop-de-doo. I don't mind the gore. But I was asking some questions. Number one, when the guy throws like a meat cleaver and kills one of the townsfolk, I guess it didn't really kill them because they're ghosts, so they wouldn't be dead. Why was Robert Englund so scared that the one guy's going to cut his other eyeball? You're a ghost, so it wouldn't fucking matter. And I guess you let him go just to fuck with them? I guess that's why, just to fuck with them? But we don't let him go? I guess your word of honor didn't really matter, because I give you my word of honor. Okay, well, they're willing to kill people. I don't know why I'm thinking, well, they're not going to lie. They're willing to kill people, but they're not going to lie. I know, that's really stupid thinking. But it's just one of those things where I'm like, okay, there's a couple things that just didn't add up the best for me, but I'm like, whatever. Maybe it's other stuff that I missed, or I just didn't give a shit about. The music, like the song at the end sounds like Rob Zombie. I know it's not Rob Zombie, but it sounds like Rob Zombie. The South will rise, the South will rise. So I guess it depends how you're into Rob Zombie type of music. Again, it specifies not Rob Zombie, but that type of music. If you're not into that, you're not going to care for it. So, 2001 Maniacs, like I said, rewatch it again. Like I said, the kills are fun. Robert Englund, Lin Shaye are having fun. If you like gory movies and short running times and see a bit of un-PC humor, which at least is different from the PC world of today, but again, not all the humor worked for me. Yeah, I get it. The guy wants to fuck a sheep. I don't have to keep fucking seeing the guy chase Jezebel the sheep again and again. Again, a lot of the lines of dialogue are cringy. Your lead actors, like the college students, you don't give a shit about any of them. Not one damn bit. Oh, Eli Roth makes a cameo as a hitchhiker near the beginning of the film, doing the face, like Cabin Fever reference, where they do... For what I remember, Cabin Fever, Eli Roth played a character and would do this thing called Faced. So I guess this movie maybe is supposed to be a prequel to Cabin Fever? Because Eli Roth looks like the same character as in that movie, and these guys do it, the Faced to him, and then Eli Roth goes Faced. So I guess then he'll do that to the people in Cabin Fever? And in a way, that's kind of the sense of humor that this film is going for, the Cabin Fever stuff. And even Cabin Fever is one of those movies that I go back and forth. Do I like it? Do I dislike it? You know, it's got good gore, but the sense of humor... So I don't know, I just kind of like with this film, it's like, it's going to depend on how you care about the sense of humor. And it wasn't boring at the very least, but it's not anything I would ever watch again. You know, the gore was pretty solid. Robert Englund helped a lot, because I'm a big Robert Englund fan. It's always nice to see him in a movie, having fun, chewing the scenery. That's always a big plus. It's not trying to be scary, so it's not scary. Well, it's not really trying to be. So I don't really know what else to say. I guess if you watch the trailer, you kind of a fair judgment of what you'll get out of this movie. It's not really a film I would recommend, other to... I guess if you're a big Robert Englund fan and you like 80-minute films with a decent amount of gore, there you go. It doesn't really offer a whole lot to it, at least to me. So it'd be like I don't know, 2.5 out of 5 star, which is like you know, I'd never see it again. But I've seen much worse. Yeah, I understand. I've seen The Amazing Bulk. I've seen Neil Breen movies. I've seen fucking Tina Mavar and The Star Crystal, where a goddamn orange alien booger looker reads an electronic Bible, finds Jesus, becomes a Jehovah's Witness, and apologizes for killing most of the crew. And then the 2 remains of the crew go, oh, that's okay, and gives him a fucking ship to fly away, and they wave goodbye while a song goes, Crystal from a star. So yeah, this alien killed all your friends, but hey, he found Jesus, so that's kind of what happens in that fucking movie. I mean, when you see films like that, this is like, it is what it is. So we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.